Hi Gemini, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your September 15th to the 30th, 2022 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see what energy we have to be mindful of during this time, Gemini. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. This is the Ten of Pentacles. That's so interesting. So there's almost a sense of, I wish it was easier than it is. There's prosperity and success around the family, but there's also a lot of stress around the family as well. Or, prosperity and wealth and our responsibilities. And there can even be a sense of, I thought I was getting an inheritance from somebody or something, type of energy that comes forward. Things might be a little bit trickier now than we had thought they were going to be. But there is an air of it works out, it works out. So just be very, very aware of this, that it feels trickier now than it actually is. Interesting. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. So here we are coming through. The repeat of the number 3. Divinity is very much watching over us. There's also a divine guidance during this time coming forward. There's more on our shoulders than we would like there to be. But again, that plays into the energy that we are to be mindful of with the Ten of Pentacles. There is a sense of things working out, prosperity, abundance, but it's not going to happen right now. And that's going to be something that we feel very frustrated with, because it's like, well, things were supposed to be getting easier, or this is supposed to be moving forward this way, or I've sacrificed so much for this. And yet Spirit is saying, be patient. And Spirit knows that we're tired of being patient, but it doesn't really care. It's kind of like, be patient anyway. So just be aware of this. There's a sense of you're sparking your fires coming forward, Gemini, in a way that you hadn't thought it would, or you kind of gave up on yourself with. So there's a sense of you're finding yourself again, and you're letting that spark, you're letting that sense of adventure and joy really shine forward in your heart and in your life and in yourself. So that's going to be a really big thing with the Knight of Wands. This is my passion. This is what I desire within my life. This is how I get to shine forward. And that's going to be a very realistic aspect of you during this time. There is also a sense of a fire and brilliance coming forward in our lives. So a sense of creative energy coming forward. This is our spark for why we're here. This is how we want to move forward in. It's not only moving forward in things. It's like, this is how I wanted things to work out, or this is how I need things to move forward for me. So often there's an energy of like, I put myself last, I put myself last. Now there's a sense of, I get to say what I want to. Like, I get to, embrace who I am as well. So there's a vibrancy that's coming forward during this time, Gemini, that's making you stand out, but also that's making you feel more comfortable within your own skin, within your own self. It's almost like, okay, I see it now. Now, there can be a level of hot-headedness also coming forward when the Knight of Wands comes forward, so just be very much aware of that there's a sense of recklessness and hot-headedness. We can also just want an adventure, like just really want an adventure and not really think things through, or find somebody who's just really exciting and fun, but they're not steady or stable. So just be aware of this. All right. With the Three of Wands, new opportunities are coming. And that's really what we're looking for here. We want to kind of accelerate that new opportunity. We want to accelerate everything. And that's great. But we have to be mindful that things happen in divine timing. And divinity is saying to us very much during this time, divine timing, divine timing. You know, don't push what I have planned for you. This doesn't mean that we sit on the wayside and just wait for things to happen, but don't let your temper get the best of you. Like, don't let frustration get the best of you, or irritability, because it's very easy for it too. So just be very aware of this during this time. But there's new opportunities opening. There are new doors opening. There's a sense of I can do it. Whereas before there was a sense of, no, I really can't, or I have to wait for somebody else's approval. Now it's like, this is my time and I get to do this. We're wanting everything to pay off a heck of a lot more quickly than it is going to. So just be aware of this. We're also going to find that we're having a generational blessing come in, but we also have generational burdens coming forward too. So it's going to be a double-edged sword. And what Spirit means by generational burdens, it can be things that we feel responsible for, that we've inherited because our parents felt responsible for it, or because we were told that we were responsible for it. There's something here where it was put on our shoulders when we were young, or we ourselves put it on our shoulders when we were young, and now we're figuring out, how do I move forward from this? How do I open up the door and leave behind this fear, this doubt, or even this sense of, well, I have to make everything right for everybody before I can even focus on myself. We then have ourselves coming forward. This is going to be a very honest time for us, Gemini, and it's very interesting because we're in Mercury retrograde up until October 1st. And Mercury retrograde, for those ruled by Mercury, which are Geminis and Virgos, it's a little bit more intense. So what we have coming forward here is we can have ourselves accidentally saying something, or accidentally, it almost feels like accidentally focusing on something where we thought, oh, that was foolish before, or, oh, that was a mistake. But because it's Mercury retrograde, it has our mistakes having a purpose. It's a purpose around our thoughts. It's a purpose around our words that are bringing us closer to where we need to be for us, to what we need to accomplish to move us forward in a way that is right for who we are and where we're headed. So this is going to be a time where we tend to be stumbling a bit, but it's stumbling in the places that divinity, Mercury retrograde, is pointing us towards what we need to work on in order to better achieve what we want from our lives. Because there is such an energy here of, I want to move forward, the door needs to open. And there's also a sense of, but I need to be completely honest with myself of what I want. Or I need to just be more fearless in what I'm going after for me. And it's not to prove anybody else wrong. It's not to get angry at anything else. It's to say, this is what I need for me right now. We also need to fall in love with ourselves. It's going to be very easy for us to say, oh yeah, I like who I am, and then speak very negatively about ourselves in ways that we would never speak to anybody else. Be very mindful of this. We're hard on ourselves. Gemini, when people see Geminis and they say, oh, they're just so flighty, and they're just so, head in the clouds, and they never focus on anything, and they want to stay forever young, we can see that within ourselves. But we also know when to walk away from things, because it becomes too boring to stand. So we need to respect when we need to leave certain things. But we also need to respect that certain things are important to us that maybe others find frivolous, and that's fine. There's a role for everybody to play in this world, and it's not all going to be the same. What do you love? What guides your soul? What lights you on fire? There's really going to be this sense of, I want to have everybody agree with me, or I need to have this core base that stands with me. And we might very well have it, but it's not going to be from the people we're trying to impress, or it's going to be from the people who always loved us. And we're going to think, well, that doesn't mean anything. It means everything. If we are loved and cherished by someone, that's extraordinary. It is said by some that our world is the most populated it will ever be. And it is said by many that we have an epidemic of loneliness. What does that mean? It means we're surrounded by people and yet don't feel seen or heard or cared for. If we are seen or heard or cared for by one person, that's extraordinary. With the Three of Cups, there is this sense of camaraderie, there's a sense of love, there's a sense of I'm building us up. And here, it's honoring that person. Because we're going to tend to look at the people who have knocked us down, who didn't accept us, who didn't love us, and say, but I want you to see me. They might never. That's cool. It's time for us to see ourselves, Gemini. And that's going to be something that's a little bit tricky during this time. Even though we're shining through so loudly and we're coming through so powerfully, it's still going to be tricky for us to see us, honor us, understand us. So just be aware of this. And just be aware that we might feel like we're on the outside looking in and people won't get it. Oh, but you have so much going for you. Oh, but you look like you're so happy. You look like this, you look like that. We have to see it first. Or we have to start to acknowledge us and what we really want and how we want things to open up. And even if how we want things to open up makes us feel like we're being very ungrateful for what we have right now, we still need to be open and honest with ourselves. Even if it's just to say, okay, you know what, I'm being foolish. You know what, okay, I'm being too hard on myself, or I'm being too hard on that person. It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. And that's the fact that things are changing. Things are changing. The way we are seeing our world, our lives is changing. The way we look at ourselves is changing. Our world is changing. And why we have to be mindful of this is because it's knocking us off our path. It's knocking us off where we think we should be going, or how we think we should be moving forward, or how we should be moving forward. Because everything changes and we're like, oh wait, no, this is wrong now. Or, oh wait, I have to know everything perfectly. Or, oh my gosh, now I just feel insecure inside. And it's because we need to acknowledge that it's changed. The game plan, the script, it's changed. Even if it's only changed slightly. Acknowledge that change, because it's more powerful than we think it is. This change has more of an impact on us than we want to admit, even to ourselves. It brings us then to the Four of Pentacles. Be mindful of your money, okay? Subconsciously, when it comes to our money, be mindful of it. Be mindful of how we're spending, where we're spending, why we're spending, because there can be this sense of like just frustration, and then, okay, I'm going to spend because it's going to give me that instant serotonin rush and I'll be happier. We're also looking at things that have brought us financial struggle. And it's kind of like, I'll prove you wrong type of thing. And that can go one of two ways. It can go either we spend too much or we save it all. And then we make ourselves feel stressed because we're saving so much that we feel like we don't have the money to spend because we're putting it in savings. So just be kind to yourself and let things be balanced. We're also being very much more aware of our money. Making financial plans during this time would be fantastic. Sitting there and being much more kind of pragmatic with our money and where we want things to go, how we want things to go, or even with our money and saying, you know what, I've undersold myself here. I thought I couldn't and I can. And so now it's time for me to be confident in me and go after the promotions, or, look at new job opportunities, or, start that business that I wanted to start. Things here where people might say, oh, well, is that financially, reasonable? We might be working 2 jobs at a time just to get ourselves to where we want to be. It can be a time of being a little bit frustrated or a little bit like spread thin. But if we look at our finances and we look at our money and we look at ourselves and we honor who we are and where we're headed and what we desire, we're going to see the doors open. But we just have to be mindful that we can tend to lean towards extremes during this time. All right, Gemini. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy. as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Gemini, and may blessings always be with you.